As coordinator for the Fayette County Harm Reduction Alliance, and as a person in long-term recovery, Charmin is one of the many brave Hoosiers who agreed to share their story for the Fix exhibit.
It went from alcohol at 9 to substances of all sorts by 13 years old.
Charmin says growing up, she suffered from physical and sexual abuse, and eventually turned to alcohol and other substances to cope with the trauma.
By the time I was 16 years old, I had overdosed twice. By the time I had my first child, I was prescribed opioids. It went from being prescribed opioids to, at 36 years old, of being an IV drug user of heroin. My life ended up rotating in and out of the prison system for 10 years. I've spent over 10 years of my life incarcerated. In our minds as individuals with substance use disorder, we say and we promise and we really want to do what we say. But you just can't stop. And then you got the fear of losing your children.
Like many suffering from substance abuse disorder, Charmin's cycle of dependence continued for years. But eventually, while in prison, Charmin says a note she received from her youngest son, who was 7 at the time, helped her see a path to recovery.
The jailer gave me the letter, and it said, "You are so a good mom, and I forgive you." When I realized that he could forgive me, I had to learn how to forgive the people that had hurt me. I had the opportunity to have a 12-step mentor from the outside. So for 32 weeks, I worked 2 hours every Tuesday with a woman from the outside. I got involved in Al-Anon. I read every motivational book that I could get my hands on. I started going to church. Those people that volunteered to come inside the prison made a difference in my life. What God had done for me, I had to share with others, because if I could change, then I knew anyone could change.
Charmin has changed drastically. Now 7 years in recovery, she's earned her bachelor's degree in psychology, she's become a first-time homeowner, and she's even completed a marathon.
I am now the vice president of our drug coalition, and I am the coordinator for the Fayette County Harm Reduction Alliance.
Charmin says sharing her story is now part of her mission.
All of that pain gave me purpose.
And that exhibits like Fix show it's possible for those suffering to not only find treatment, but to recover.
It's never too late. As long as someone has breath in their body, it is not too late. As long as we have tools to help someone, that is our responsibility to humanity.
We know now trauma is the real gateway drug. If there was one message I'd have for people is that there's hope. There's a solution. Treatment works. Recovery is possible.
We lay out 3 things on the way out. We have a panel. 1 is choose your words carefully in your conversation. 2 is have a conversation or reach out to someone in need, and maybe it's someone around you, maybe it's someone in the community. And the 3rd is get trained on Narcan. It's so easy, it's so important. Every Narcan administered is another chance at recovery.
We're going to have some great metrics around number of visitors. I know there's been some visitor surveys that have been done, and we're really going to be able to see a change in the stigma around people who have visited this exhibit.
All of these partners came together and trusted us, and they trusted us with very important stories, whether it was their profession, their responsibility through state government, their responsibility as healthcare providers, or their personal stories. And that people were willing to trust us, I believe is the biggest compliment a museum can have.